I am honored to become a Wildcat. And it's a real honor and privilege to be with you as we celebrate the Bethune-Cookman University class of 2017.
Well, you could hear it. Education Secretary Betsy DeVos booed by students during her commencement speech at an historic black college. And now, President Trump will speak at Liberty University's graduation. Here he is, Jerry Falwell, Jr. He is the president of Liberty University. Why did you invite President Trump, sir?
I invited President Trump back in December and got the acceptance in March, and we're just so honored as a university to have a sitting U.S. president to do his first commencement speech at Liberty. You know, for generations, the tradition was for the new president to do his first speech at Notre Dame, and there were protests there this year. And I think it's just so disrespectful. These universities, many of these elitist universities, and we have high regard for Notre Dame. We've always aspired to be for evangelicals what Notre Dame is for Catholics. But places like Berkeley and the Ivy League, it's just because liberals used to defend free speech. They used to be all about academic freedom and the free exchange of ideas. But now they seem to be more like fascists. They just want to shut down any viewpoint that they don't agree with and disinvite speakers. And even Mayor Bloomberg spoke at the Harvard commencement in 2014, and part of his speech was dedicated to chastising the Ivy League because 96% of their faculty and staff donated to the Obama campaign, the election before. And how can you have... Go ahead.
And I just want to know, what would you do if some students who are at Liberty University, if they booed or turned their back on the president or in some way insulted him? Would you do anything to those students?
Absolutely not. And, you know, I'm so proud of our students. They treated Bernie Sanders with the utmost respect, even though most of them didn't agree with the thing he said. And there might be a few that don't agree with Donald Trump's policies, but I really expect them to show the same respect that they showed to Bernie Sanders. And I wish other universities had that same decorum. I remember when my father was back in the 80s, I traveled with him when I was in law school. He spoke at a lot of Ivy League schools. But back then, they would welcome conservative speakers, and they would pack the auditorium out, and they would boo and hiss some. But at least then, they didn't try to disinvite them or kick them off campus. And so it's really gotten worse since the 80s, I've noticed. It's sad.
Your Liberty University is the home of evangelicals, primarily, I believe. What do you make of President Trump visiting Pope Francis during the G7 summit?
I think it's a good move for him. I think Pope Francis probably has more in common politically with Obama than he does with President Trump. But I think they can maybe work past some of those differences, and you know, it seems to me like the Pope is more of a socialist than any Pope we've had recently. But I think President Trump will make some inroads there, and I hope he does.
Jerry Falwell, Jr. will be very interested to see what President Trump says at the commencement speech this weekend. And thank you for being on the program today, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Good to be with you again, Stuart. Thank you. Sir.